Okay, guys, in each of these problems, it wants us to solve it by completing the square, and I call these kind of the easier ones. I'm going to have another video where I do ones where they get a little bit harder. But for right now, I think these ones actually turn out pretty nice, if I'm remembering right. So let's try them. This one here, each of these terms, first off, are divisible by 3. Let's go ahead and factor out a 3. This is an okay math move because really I'm doing this to both sides. I could do this all over one fraction bar on the left side, but we would get the same thing. So I'm just going to do under each term. That leaves me with x squared minus, let's see, 42 divided by 3 is 1, 12, 14. 14x and then 15. Okay, and then remember when we complete the square, since now our leading coefficient in front of our x squared term is 1, which is what we want, we have to look at our b term, take half of it, and then square that. So oftentimes what I like to do is just keep this in a fraction form and then square it like this. So we think of half of negative 14, that's going to be negative 7. Negative 7 squared is 49. So I need to add 49 to both the left and the right side. Okay, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is bring it down. And let's see here. We'll do it in, I'll write out the full step so you can see it. We have x squared minus 14x plus 49 equals, and over here, 15 plus 40. I'll write that also. Oops, 15 plus 49. Now I can start to simplify a little bit and make this kind of what we want. I want a binomial squared. That's the whole reason we completed the square. And then we can do that by doing x here. That's the square root of our a term. And then what we get inside here, we take half of the b term. That's going to go over here. So half of negative 14 is a negative 7. That's where I'm getting that number from the second part of my binomial square. Okay, equals, and then 15 plus 49 is 64. All right, so I take the square root of both sides, and that's going to turn out nice, like I said at the beginning. On this side, the square root and the square cancel, giving us x minus 7. And on the right side of the equation, we get not just 8, but plus or minus 8. You have to have the plus or minus with these. Think kind of back to the quadratic equation, has that plus or minus part with that. Okay, if I add 7 to both sides, what I'm going to get is x equals 7 plus or minus 8. So 7 plus 8 is 15. 7 minus 8 is a negative 1. Those are your two answers for this quadratic. The second one, all right, the second one, they already have our C term moved over. The A term is already a 1, so I can start right away by taking half of my B term. And this one looks like it's going to be a bit more challenging because half of negative 3 is not an integer. All right, half of it, though, squared is going to be, if I add this back in, I'm going to keep it a fraction. Keep it 9/4. Right? Negative 3 squared is 9. 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to add 9/4 to both sides, like so. Again, let me write out that next line. Y squared minus 3y plus 9/4, keeping it as a fraction, equals, and on this side, let me do a little side work here. 88 plus 9/4. Well, 88 currently is over 1. If I want it to be over 4, I have to multiply both the 88 times 4 and the 1 times 4. I have no idea what that is. 88 times 4 is 352 over 4 plus 9 over 4. So that's 361 over 4. Okay, I guess that's what it is. 361 over 4. It seems kind of ridiculous, but it must turn out good in the end. This side, like I said in this last one, the same rules apply. We're still going to have a y in our first term of the binomial squared. The second one is, remember, just going to be this b term, or half of this b term, I should say, which right now we can just leave it as negative 3 over 2. Okay, that's exactly what we did there. We could have done the same thing here, negative 14 over 2, but that is negative 7. That's why we simplified it. This one, you can just leave it like that. Okay, and then on the other side, we still have 361 over 4. Got to take the square root of both sides now. Again, the square root and the square cancel, leaving us with y minus 3 halves. And on the right side, square root of 361. I don't think that turns out nice. Let's see. Square root of 361. Oh, it does. It's 19. It's 19. I should probably know that. And then the square root of 4, of course, is 2. Of course, like I said, it is going to turn out nice. All right, let's add 3/2 to both sides. Oh, I made a mistake. I forgot my plus or minus. Gotta have plus or minus 19/2. Anyway, add 3/2 to both sides, and that's going to give us y equals, let's cancel, 3/2 plus or minus 19/2. What is that? I don't know. 3 plus 19 is 22. Divided by 2 is 11. And 3 minus 19 is negative 16 over 2, which is negative 8. The two answers for this one are 11 and negative 8.